Tips for selling your home. I've got all that information starting right now. Hey everybody, I'm Caitlin McKegg. I'm a realtor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're chatting about tips for selling your home. I know I talk a lot about home buying, but today I am talking about home selling. Before we jump in, if this is your first time to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. I post weekly videos every Friday. I have a lot of great information about Phoenix and about the real estate market, so you don't want to miss what I'm posting. If you are more of a social media person, then don't wait and check out my social channels. Make sure that you follow me there so you are always up to date with all of that information as well. Okay, so you're thinking about selling your house. Where do you start? Well, I'll tell you, number one is to start with a realtor, but that's beside the point. Let's talk about the tips that I am here to give you if you are selling your house. So number one is price it right. Price is super important when you are selling your house. If you want buyers to take you seriously and you are serious about selling your house, you want to list it at the right price from the start. The shorter time frame that your house is listed on the market, the more buyers will be interested in your home. If you price it wrong from the start, you won't be seeing too much buyer activity from the beginning. And when you price drop it 30 days, 60 days, or more after being listed, it's not going to look quite as appealing and you won't have quite as much leverage as a seller as you would have if it was priced right from the start. Okay, so price is number one. Number two, stage it, clean it, and repair it. So that's 3 in 1 for you. But let me tell you this. A buyer does not want to walk through a dirty house. And sometimes it's hard for a buyer to picture where the furniture would go and how the house would be used if you don't have any furniture in the house. Also, if you have trim falling off your walls, if you have door handles falling off the door, that's not going to entice a buyer to want to buy your house either. So those are my 3 recommendations in that category. Get the house cleaned and have it nice and sparkling, stage it if possible, and do any repairs from the start. Let's be honest, the inspector's gonna pick out all of the issues anyway, so why not get on top of it and fix some of the easy things before you list the house, and don't let the inspector be the one to point them out. So my next tip is know your house. Have you put a new roof on the house since you've been living there? What about some of the major appliances and systems like the air conditioning units? These are all things that buyers are going to ask, and if they don't, the inspector is going to pick them out. If it's something that you've done work on in the last few years, you want to call that out, especially for the big things like a new roof and a new AC unit. If you have any information to provide on that, you want to provide it up front. If you don't know the answers to these types of things, you may want to dig back in your files and see if your seller before you bought the house had any of this information that you might be able to share with the buyer. So be prepared to be able to answer those questions or tout the fact that these types of things are updated and new in your house. Okay, so know your house. Next tip that I have for you is photography. Now let me ask you this. If you are looking for a house, where are you going to start? Probably the internet, right? And more than likely, there's gonna be some great photos of the house that you're interested in, and that's what catches your eye. You want to do the same for your buyers. iPhone pictures are not gonna cut it. You wanna make sure that you have a professional photographer taking amazing photos that really showcase the house and get buyers interested in coming in to see it in person. It makes all the difference. Finally, my last tip is be flexible with showings. If you've done all of these things that I told you to do, your house is going to be a hot commodity once it's listed on the market, and you'll likely get a lot of interest and folks that want to see it. The worst thing you can do is not allow buyers to see your house. So make sure you're prepared and flexible for showings. If you have dogs or kids, make sure you have a plan to be able to get out of the house rather quickly if you get a showing notification. Try to keep the house clean every day if that's possible, or at least remotely clean, so that unexpected showings can still come through even if you only have 30 minutes to get the house ready for a showing. Time is of the essence, and if buyers can't see your house when they want to see it, they'll move on to the next. So make sure that you're prepared and flexible when folks request to see your house and do a showing. Okay, so those are my 5 home selling tips. But I have a surprise for you. This is just part 1. Part 2, I'm going to cover next week on how your home sells fast. And I'm going to delve into all of the marketing ideas that allow your home to get under contract as soon as possible. If you have any questions about this information, or if you're interested in possibly knowing your home value or the process of selling your home, you can always reach out to me about this. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. Make sure to follow up next week to see part 2 of this video. I'm Caitlin McKegg with Berkshire Hathaway. Thank you for watching.